Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of Melanin glasses. In this video, we'll also be discussing whether or not computer glasses are worth it. So chances are you've seen these computer glasses floating around on the internet. They're characterized by this yellow-orange tint to the lens, which is a dramatic change from the typical prescription and reading glasses that we see, or even sunglasses that have a darker tint. It's interesting because Melanin glasses claim to allow you to use computers safely and for longer, so you can actually use it up to 6 times longer and still not have as much eye strain. Quite useful if you're someone like a computer programmer, you have to stare at a screen all the day, or if you're just someone who really enjoys, let's say, streaming video, watching television, browsing the web, and let's face it, we're all more or less addicted now to the internet, so this could be something quite useful, especially as people use their cell phones and tablets more and more. There's also certain companies out there that are beginning to incorporate these lenses directly into our prescription glasses and starting to make the effect less visible. So as far as a technology standpoint, these glasses suppress blue light, which is claimed to be the wavelength and the light color that does the most damage to our vision. And melanin in general is kind of interesting. It's the pigment that allows us to have different colors in our skin and also in our hair. So what's interesting about this is some people are claiming that, quote, in the eye, it reduces the risk of degeneration. In sunglass lenses, melanin reduces the risks of degeneration of our lenses, and without losing the perception of color, melanin glasses are able to reduce glare even without polarization. So that is the claim on here. So a generic set, which you can find through drugstores and also through online stores, can sell for about $30 or so, which isn't too expensive. You can also pick up more catered towards gamer lenses, which brand names out there, which can be a bit more costly, but they operate using the same mode and also using the same lens technology, also having this yellow tint. Of course, if you pick things such as fancier frames, those elements will raise up the price. But $30 is about as cheap as you can get with one of these, which you can see in front of you. This is a pretty generic set. Otherwise, what this particular set comes with is a carrying case in addition to a microfiber cloth, which you can use to wipe away any smudges that might accumulate on the lens. Pretty typical stuff. Taking a closer look here, this is the actually the cheapest set that we could find in a local drugstore. So Rite Aid as well as Walgreens, if you have those near you, you can definitely look around. They should have a pair. And there's several different designs that's actually offered through this, the company. And what's interesting here is that the nose pad here is slightly angled downwards as opposed to the typical location in the center there. So it still works decently even if we already have glasses. Obviously not the most convenient thing in the world, but you can still wear kind of 2 layers of these glasses almost. And that's what we did in some of our testing, and it still worked fine. These are not bending glasses, they're not flexible glasses in terms of the hinges or anything like that. So it's rather stiff, and as far as the styling goes, pretty generic. As far as the overall effect that you get from wearing this, it's kind of like sunglasses, but as you expect, everything is in a more yellow tint. Whether or not that really affects, performance if you're looking at a screen, if you're, checking out music, video content, if you're gaming. At first it did, but then after a while I really got used to it and it wasn't a huge problem. During my testing, I found that it did kind of reduce fatigue in the sense that if I was staring at my screen all day, if I was typing out messages, emails, and I was doing, let's say, a very long essay, and I was looking at the screen for, maybe 7 hours at the same time without taking too many breaks, this definitely did help me, because in the past I've had my eyes would maybe turn a little red, and you would have to maybe get something like an eye drop to help relieve that tension. So this is something that did help me, and I found that at the end I was still more or less not as tired on the eyes, and it still felt fine. So I can definitely see that in the long term, this could be something that would definitely help in terms of a lifestyle and a pattern. And because of that, I would think that investing in a more expensive pair that's comfortable as well as more integrated and less bulky, less of something that you have to carry around and maybe wear 2 pairs of glasses could be something that is worthwhile. So from a general perspective, I would say that yes, it does work. Obviously, if you're using these for everything from looking at your phones to looking at your tablets, it can be a little bit tedious, especially for people who aren't used to wearing glasses in the first place. Otherwise, in terms of some basic information about these glasses, again, you can really find a wide range of manufacturers making them, and they're again called tinted computer reading glasses and also gaming glasses. They do help relieve a bit of stress, and some of the models on the market also reduce, not only just block the blue light, but they also block some other light as well passing through that makes the experience less glareful, so the overall effect is not as bright. That kind of helps you helps your eyes adjust a little bit better for long time usage and staring at a screen. So that's how it works. As far as using these outdoors, they do kind of work in the sense that they do definitely dim your surroundings. If you are planning on using that sunglasses, I don't think they're as effective as typical sunglasses, in the sense that it's still quite bright and it glares still kind of easily, and you have that more of a strange color, and when you're walking around, everything around you is yellow. It's definitely not as comfortable as when you're interacting with the web and you're reading text, and you get used to that. But that's just something to quickly point out. So all in all, these pretty low-cost computer glasses I think are pretty effective, especially if you're reading text on a computer screen for long periods of time. It definitely did help me relax my eyes. I didn't have to squint as much, and I felt more calmed and also relaxed at the end of that super long session compared to just wearing traditional glasses. So that's definitely a benefit there, but if you're just quickly looking at your phone for a few seconds at a time, I don't think it's going to be as effective to, wear this 24/7. And also the pricing for these from some of the more expensive models, more catered for, gaming or advertised slightly differently, really should come down, because the tech in here isn't that different from glasses to glasses. It's really just the frame that determines kind of the pricing difference, or the brand name that determines the pricing difference. So some last thoughts I'm going to leave this video on is that blue light is also harmful, not because of the tension in your eyes, or also maybe because of eye strain and so on and so forth, but it's also claimed to cause you to lose more sleep because of the suppression of melatonin by that blue light. So if you look at computer screens for a long period of time, and there's a ton of blue light coming in from the typical LCDs and LEDs that we use, then you might have trouble falling asleep after a while. Afterwards, this loss of melatonin is also kind of linked, but it's causally linked. It's not really definitively linked to things like cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and so these are all things that are potential links. So that's why perhaps eye health is quite important. And again, you need your eyes to interact with the world and interact with everything around us. So this is something that's quite important. So at the end of the day, I do think that this is something worth investing in. I would say that maybe getting this integrated into a pair of pre-existing prescription lenses is the way to go, although you could always go ahead and check out one of these really cheap pairs and to see if you like it, if it works for you, and whether or not it's comfortable. So thanks for watching this video here at OS Reviews. This has been a quick look at Melanin glasses, aka the computer reading glasses.